The words that I would use to describe these families and how they give is, what is the need?
They are people who have always welcomed others with graciousness, with integrity, with hospitality.
People who don't have a place to go, new people, old people, there's always somebody over there. That hachnasat orchim, the hospitality they show, is something they've really passed on to their kids.
They have always approached their philanthropy from the point of view, not where would we like to see our name, what would we like to see as our legacy.
Before being asked, recognizing that the importance of stepping up and helping out others.
They're very caring about their community and about the people around them.
Wherever they found themselves, they wanted to be sure that there were the facilities and the institutions that furthered Jewish education.
So if I were to define in a phrase, their giving would be, what is the need?
The first time I met with Larry and Leonore, they came to my office at the Federation to tell me they wanted to make a gift to our campaign. And as you might imagine, we don't have a lot of folks who rush to our office to make their tzedakah to our campaign.
She was surprised because most people wait until they're asked, and we could do it, so we decided we would.
That is such an unusual thing. Instead of saying, well, how am I going to star? Rather to say, what are the needs of the community and how can I be a part of it?
They want to be able to give back and not just take also. And so, they were very involved in forming Hillel Academy and in getting the high school also off the ground. And so whenever there was a need, they were there to try to see what kind of help that they could give the school.
Their involvement in Central Ohio in terms of Jewish day school education goes all the way back to the 60s, when Jewish education, day school education, was not as popular as now.
They weren't opposed, but they weren't that excited about contributing to get the school started. We both decided that we enjoy doing that. Not just do things for ourselves, but do things for others.
Well, Larry was always the person that one talked to about any given project. You knew that either before or afterwards it was Leonore who would establish what projects would be pursued and to what extent they would be pursued.
Leonore and Larry Zusman are very big Zionists, very big supporters of Israel, and they really pass that on, not just to their kids, but to their grandkids. And two of the Cole's children now are made Aliyah, moved to Israel.
My grandparents throughout their whole lives have been incredibly supportive of the state of Israel, and just walking around Israel within hospitals, within schools, within parks, and all sorts of community projects that I see, and it serves as a reminder to me that really I am serving the greater purpose of something that they're so proud of.
Every time I go around in Israel and I go look at their projects and we meet with the people that are being impacted by the philanthropy that they're giving, and it's really amazing to see what they're able to do and also just how grateful they are to see us.
If you walk down the streets of Jerusalem, you'll notice that it's handicap accessible. That's because of Larry and Leonore Zusman. And if you go throughout Israel, you'll find chesed centers. That's because of Larry and Leonore Zusman. Here at home, our day school and the Learning Center at CTA is in large part a function of the generosity and vision of Larry and Leonore Zusman.
Well, we were always interested in Jewish education, especially the people who have learning disabilities.
They're not just the type of people who just talk about it. In fact, they're the opposite. They're doers. They don't talk about it. They're very modest, humble people. My grandfather, may he rest in peace, and my grandmother today.
If you know the Zusman family and the Cole family, if you know Stuart and Marilyn in particular, family is always very near and dear.
They just kvel. I remember Larry and Leonore kveling at every accomplishment of their grandchildren.
We went to the kindergarten graduation, the 8th grade graduation, and when they graduated from high school.
When I grew up, my parents, even though they were very involved with their business and very involved with all their philanthropy projects, but really family always came first, and You know, the needs of my sister and I were always at the forefront, and always family, you know, is like the cornerstone. And I think, you know, with our children, they're certainly the center of our lives.
My parents and grandparents always made it clear that family was the number one priority. Whatever else was going on in their life was okay, fine, and interesting, but family always came first.
We both felt very passionately about our kids, you know, the importance of them getting a Jewish education. We were very excited about our kids having the opportunity of going to Torah Academy.
When I came in 1987 to Torah Academy, they were always involved, whether it would be the PTO or the education committee, on various projects, and they never had thought twice about being sure that their children were going to get the full day school education.
A lot of parents would, you know, kind of think, oh, well, once my children are done with school, then that kind of ends my connection with school. And my parents are just the opposite, where they really recognize the importance of a solid Jewish education for every child.
We've continued to support it to the fullest extent possible, and that's why we feel so passionately about CTA, because of our appreciation for what it provides to the Jewish community in Columbus.
It's rare that we come across people who do good for the sake of doing good, and because it makes them feel proud and feel like they are doing their part in Tikkun Olam to repair the world.
They're giving to educational institutions, to CTA in particular, which is their backyard institution, is so important and vital to them because it is a source of Jewish continuity.
Every year they thought of what project can we do now that will be helpful to Klal Yisrael.
One time the Zusmans said, well, we don't really know what the fuss is. We're just plain people. And they are plain, simple, wonderful people who are makabel kol adam b'sever panim yafot, who really greet everyone with a pleasant countenance and pay attention to the needs of the Jewish community without anyone necessarily directing them.
No, we're pretty proud of some of the things we did. And they're carrying on now.